my name's Ember, and I may have a problem. Hey Embers, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another collection video from me. This is going to be quite a long one, so grab your favourite beverage of choice and a snack. I would. So when I started my Pokemon collecting journey, particularly TCG, I would never have said that I would have ended up with 12 binders, but here we are, 12 binders full of Pokemon cards and other Pokemon related products. So I thought I would do a video because I'm at a stage where my binders are finally how I would like them. I thought I would do a video of a full binder tour going through all 12 of my binders with a couple of little extras at the end. This is my first binder. This is a Game-Genic binder. All of my binders are zip binders and they're between 4-pocket and 9-pocket binders. And this first one is nothing too exciting. This is just my miscellaneous binder of common cards pretty much. So hopefully you can see this quite well. Obviously I can't see too much on the camera because the tripod is technically taller than me right now. But we have my baby shinies. I predominantly collect cards in English, by the way, so all of my cards you will see are English minus some of the cards in the Spinder binder. So we have Fido, Greavard, Mashchief, Ralts, Riolu, Squovet, Ice-Cube, Galarian Ponyta and Cleffa. Hopefully again you can see those quite well. And then I have a space there for more baby shinies. This is all of my holos. Again, I'm not going to be going through all of the cards because that would take far too long. But these are my holo cards. Got a nice mix of fairy cards as well. I used to collect fairy types. You will have seen on this channel before, I have shown my Pokemon collection off before, and one of the binders I had was a fairy binder where I was going to collect every English fairy card. I'm not doing that anymore, so my fairy cards have been split between the different binders. And again, we have more holos here. I'm not going to go through them all, but you can see a lot of my fairy cards were recycled into here. And then on the left here we have my Radiants. I don't have that many, so I have Radiant Gardevoir, Radiant Jirachi and Radiant Sarina. And then at the bottom these are just some more special cards, I suppose. So we have a Xerneas Prism card, we have a Xerneas Stamped Reverse, and we have a Swirlix Reverse. Now I don't tend to collect reverse holos unless they're in specific binders, so my rabbit binders you'll see as we go on. I don't tend to collect reverses too much, but this one was just too cute, so I had to keep it. So again, these are all of my miscellaneous cards, nothing too special here. I used to have, again if you've been watching for a while, I used to have a dedicated cats, dogs, foxes and bears binder. I don't have that anymore, they are all in here, but I did want to give a little bit of a tribute to that. So we start with cats, dogs, foxes and bears and then we move on. So these are all of my cats. And then we have all of my dogs, and again I'm not going to be going into too much detail with these ones, the video would be too long. We have a continuation of dogs, and then we have foxes. I have quite a lot of Vulpix and Ninetales, and then again foxes, and we start with bears with Teddiursa. And you will note that a couple of Pokemon that you expect to be here aren't here, and that's because you'll see them in another binder a little bit later on. And then these are just miscellaneous cards that I like the artwork for. It's as simple as that. So I don't really collect for value. I collect because I love it. I collect because I enjoy it. We have an imposter here on the Pikachu, Pichu and Raichu page. I said them the wrong way around. So these are just artworks that I really, really like. And I have kept the Pokemon with their respective evolutions. So we have Minccino and Cinccino here all together, but everything else is random. So if the Pokemon has an evolution, it's together in this binder, but everything else is random. I definitely need to redo these pages so there's a little bit more of a flow in terms of colour, but I do love them. And hopefully you can spot your favourite in here. But again, I'm not going to be going into too much detail with these. No EXs, no full arts here, not in this binder, they are in another binder which you will see very soon. So that is it for my miscellaneous cards, and as you can see I have quite a lot of space, and then just at the back here I have some random drawings from Whatnot and a random little Patrat sticker that had nowhere else to go. So we're going to do the bigger 9-pocket binders first, we might as well. Next up is a binder that I'm very, very proud of because I don't know how many people collect these. This is my trainer binder. So here we go, and this is the newest binder in my collection, And this was the last one I was waiting for in order to do this video. So I have themed pages in this trainer binder. First up we have Bonnie. Now the reason I collect Bonnie is because my bunny rabbit is called Bonnie, so why not? We have the full art, which is a little bit more expensive. Unfortunately, my binder has suffered from what a lot of binders do, which is these horrible creases on the front page. They're only on the front page, they're not anywhere else. But we have a cutout from the Baby Ife set. Weirdly enough, Bonnie is on the packaging, but she's not actually a card in the set. Very bizarre. But then we have a lot of little bits here. There's obviously not that much merchandise for Bonnie, let's be honest. And then that's a continuation of the Bonnie page if I do get any more. Then we move on to my Corbeau page, and what I've done here is I have the full art of Corbeau, then I have the regular up there, and then this is his Pokemon team all the way around. So that's what I've chose to do for Corbeau. Corbeau is definitely my favourite character in ZA. And then that is a spare in case I get any more Corbeau things. Then we have an Emma page. Of course, Emma is my name, so I had to collect Emma. And once again, I've got the full art in the middle and then her team around her. This one does continue on the next page. And I do have the full art Esper, which I absolutely love. And there's the continuation of the Emma page there with the reverse holo. Then this is my sort of ZA page. This is just a jumble mix of trainers and items, stadiums, that kind of thing. But I do have the full arts for Naveen, Tarragon and Philippe. I don't have the full art for Jacinthia nor Canary, and I think I'm missing Urbane and a couple of others. So this is definitely a work in progress. We continue on with the ZA page there, and I do have the full art as is Tranquility as well, but I would love to get the SAR for that as well. So then we have my Lily page. I think every girly has a Lily page. Yes, I'm basic, but she's lovely. So again, I got the Cosmo, I love the Sleeping Lily here, and the Solgaleo. I do need Lunala. I believe there's a Lunala with Lily. There's lots of different Lily cards. I don't have anything too special here. I do have the full art Lilies Rabombi, but I don't actually have any full art Lilies because they are quite expensive. I am hoping to get some in the future though. Then this is my Miriam page. I didn't think much to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but I did like Miriam and one other character, which you will see moving forward. The only thing I'm missing on the Miriam page is the SIR. Hopefully I can get that in the future. And then on the left there we have my Rhyfort page. She's another standout for me for Scarlet and Violet because she is of course a history teacher and I am a historian, so I love that. But my Rhyfort page is technically the only one that I would class as complete. Then we move on to my other trainer full arts, and these are just random full arts that I have. I love the Briar cards in particular. I really like this Melanie. I like them all, I've got them. And then a continuation. My favourites on this page are probably Clara, and I do like the Lacey as well. And I've kept a lot of room for trainer full arts. So then we just move on to all of my miscellaneous trainers, and again I'm not going to spend too much time on this because there are far too many than there possibly needs to be. But we have sort of a sword and shield section here. Then we move on to my items. I really want a full art Love Ball, but I doubt they're going to do it. And then this is a remnant of when I had my fairy binder that I no longer have. I thought I would keep one of each fairy energy that I owned, and then I had all these fairy charms. And then that's the rest of the fairy related items. And in this binder I have lots and lots of room to grow, so I'm really excited to continue on with my trainer binder. Now this binder I absolutely love. This is one that I'm very proud of. This is a recent acquisition to my collection. And can you guess what Pokemon is inside this binder? I bet you can't. Yes, this is my Eevee collection. I am hoping to master set Eevee in English only, so that is what this binder is for. And this is quite exciting because I don't think I've shown my Eevee collection on this channel at all, so this will be the first time you're seeing it. And I just love, look at the inside on this. I love this binder. I can't remember if it's Vault X. I think it might be a Vault X binder. I honestly can't remember. But we're going to go through these very, very quickly because we do have a lot of other binders to go through. I will be doing a dedicated video to Eevee because I of course have other Eevee merchandise bits as well. So I'm going to flick through this very, very quickly. But essentially the start is promos. So as you can see, I don't have anything on this page. But these are all the promos with Eevee on that I do own. And that's where that ends. And then this is all the regular Eevee cards. I collect the regular and the reverse, any variations. There are stamps and things like that. I haven't really got into that yet, and staff promos, that kind of thing. Haven't got into that yet, so we don't talk about that. But again, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of all of my EVs. There's definitely a lot more EVs I need to get. These team-ups are going to be the death of me. There are some very expensive EV cards, as you can imagine. But I do have quite a substantial amount of EVs, so I'm fairly happy with this. I do also have the prismatic Pokeball and Master Ball, so I'm happy to have those. I do not have the SIR. I would like to have it. I do also collect pack art, and I also collect sleeves, so you'll see those as we go as well. But yes, quite a few gaps in my EV collection. And then we move on to cameo cards. So this is why Cassiopeia wasn't in my trainer binder, if you were wondering why she was missing. And there's some more Cassiopeia cards with my Sylveon collection, spoiler alert. But this is all the EV cameo cards I have so far. And then we move on to a sort of newer project of mine, which is Daichipan stickers. Now, if you've been watching my Whatnot videos, I am obsessed with Daichipan stickers, and there's quite a lot for EV. These are the ones I currently have. But as you can see, we're going to go through a lot of empty pages here. These are all for EV Daichi. Yes, there is that many. Then we have the rest of my EV stickers here. Again, I've left room for those. These are EV official items. So we have sleeves and a old maid. I actually did a naughty thing and cracked that from a slab that I won in a buyer's. Then we have my unofficial EV items. So this is things like baby ice. I didn't want to mix my official and unofficial, so these are not legit Pokemon products. And then that's it, so I have a lot of room to grow with my EV collection as well. So I'll show you my last 9 pocket now before we go on to my 4 pockets. This is from eFunkDo. I have no idea. It was quite cheap on Amazon and it does the job. And this is my Scorbunny Reboot and Cinderace binder. Again, something I haven't shown on this channel, so I'm very excited. I will again be doing a dedicated video to Scorbunny Reboot and Cinderace. I want to show my plushies. But this is the binder that I have for them. Now, the Scorbunny Reboot and Cinderace line were actually in this binder originally, but I had to move from a 4 pocket to a 9 pocket because they just outgrew the binder. Now, I am primarily a Pokemon rabbit collector, as you guys know, so of course I had to collect Scorbunny, Reboot and Cinderace. Let's crack on. So this is Scorbunny promos. I'm only missing 1 promo here. Then we move on to the TCG, and you can see I've got a lot more for Scorbunny, Reboot and Cinderace than I had for Eevee. Let me just move that across for you. Again, I'm not going to show you in too much detail, but you saw originally I had the baby shinies in a folder. They're the miscellaneous ones. You can see another baby shiny here. If they are part of a set, then they go in that binder. It's as simple as that. So that is all of my Scorbunny TCG so far. I do need the First Partners Series 2 card. And then we move on again to Daichipan. This is a newer project of mine. Scorbunny has quite a lot of Daichi, so all of these spaces here are for Daichi. Then we move on to other stickers. I do love collecting stickers, as you can see. These are all stickers. Then these are official products. We have some newspaper clippings. You'll see some more of those. They're from Japan. Then we have some unofficial products. Again, I didn't want to mix them up. This is a fan-made card, which I don't typically tend to delve into, but I got that for free on Whatnot. Then we have a little drawing that somebody made for me, and then we move on to Reboot. There are not that many Reboot cards. I'm actually just missing 2 reverse hollows, and then my Reboot is technically master setted in English. I don't think there's any stamps, anything like that. Again, only 1 Reboot Daichi, and I've only got 1 Reboot sticker. There's not a lot for Reboot, I will say. We have 1 newspaper clipping, and that's it for Reboot. So I have left a lot of space in the hopes that Reboot can grow. Then we move on to Cinderace, and these again are promos at the beginning. And then we move on to regular cards. Now I am missing quite a lot of Cinderace cards, so I definitely need to get on that. But I do have quite a few as well. This is the only Cinderace cameo I have. You will not be able to see it. It's right down at the bottom there. Then again, Cinderace stickers. I am missing 1 Daichi in the middle there. You get the drill by now. Official on the left, unofficial on the right. And I have lots of room now to grow my Scorbunny, Reboot and Cinderace collection. So let's now move on to my 4 pocket binders. These are for dedicated Pokemon or multiple Pokemon. And you might be able to see these ones a little bit better because of course I have been able to move the tripod down. So this binder, these binders have had a bit of a refresh. I've moved things about. This one currently has Whismer and Bunnelby. I don't think I've changed this binder. I think I've shown both my Whismer and my Bunnelby collection here on this channel, so I'll flick through this one as quickly as I can. I do class Whismer as a bunny. I'm not sure many people would, but there you go. I do like Whismer. His evolutions, however, can get stuffed, quite frankly. Then we have Daichipan, stickers, you know the drill by now, official and unofficial. Then we move on to Bunnelby. This binder has lots and lots of room to grow. There's not too many Bunnelby and Whismer things out there, but I'm still pretty proud of this collection. And again, I've shown these in more detail on the channel. We have the 2 Bunnelby cameos that I have, the Cricketoon card and the Lumio City card. And we have this one actually is very bizarre. This is an Indonesian Bunnelby. So you know I said we wouldn't see any foreign cards until Spinder? I totally lied. This is an Indonesian Gramedia Bunnelby. I think that's how you say it. Then again, stickers, you know the drill. We have official, a little tiny Bunnelby there, unofficial, and that's it. So again, a lot of room to grow for Bunnelby and Whismer. And once again, the reason I went through that super quickly is because I have a video on the channel dedicated to my Whismer collection, and I have a video dedicated to my Bunnelby collection, if you would like to check those out. I do have a playlist called Collection Videos. This one will be in it. So if you're interested in any of my other Pokemon videos, go ahead and check that playlist out, and I'm sure you can find them. We look at other things, plushies, figures, that kind of thing. So shall we do my pride and joy now? This is my favourite Pokemon, as you guys know. This is Spinder, and I have done quite a few videos on Spinder and my Spinder collection. This is the only binder currently that I have stickered up. I may sticker up some more in the future, but this one has its own dedicated space. I have 3 Spinder shelves now full of merchandise. I just love Spinder so much. Definitely my favourite Pokemon. And again, I have shown this in quite a lot of detail, so we're going to flick through this as quickly as possible. So again, I'm going to go through these very quickly. I'm nearly finished with Spinder, not quite, but I definitely need to get on it. And that is all of the Spinder TCG. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages, bless him. Then we have my Japanese collection, not very big. I do need to add more Japanese cards to my Spinder collection. The Spinder binder is a little bit different than all of the other binders because this is the one I'm really, sort of dedicated to. This is Korean Spinder, Spinder in Korean. Then we have some official products, so the GB Minis. We have tops. We have the 3 Spinder Daichi that currently exist, and then a lot of Spinder stickers. There's a lot of doubles in this binder as well because there's not a lot of Spinder merchandise. But I'm really happy with what I have. We have all of the Tops on Versus cards. We have stamps, a lot. This binder has changed a little bit since I last showed it. So if you've already seen it, it does look a little bit different. But again, I'm not going to go into detail on every single item, even though I absolutely could. Sleeves, absolutely love. Then we have unofficial. So again, IF, that kind of thing. And don't even ask. Don't even ask. Then we have commissions. I love this page so much. This is all of my Spinder commissions. Moving on to the next page. This is just a whole load of those Spinder stamps with Wobbuffet. And then we have doubles. This is all of my Spinder doubles. Yes, look at all of this TCG that I do not need. And some spare sleeves. Now this binder had all of my EXs, full arts, Vs, VMAXs, that kind of thing, but they have been moved onto a different binder. So this binder actually now houses Wigglytuff and Azumarill. Now Azumarill used to be with the Poplio line, if you guys remember that, and Wigglytuff used to be with Sylveon. So I've done some shifting about. Of course you will see the Poplio line and Sylveon a little bit later on, but now Wigglytuff and Azumarill live together. Now this isn't the most perfect colour for either of them, but they're both fairies, and so I think they kind of fit. They're both little chunky boys. They kind of fit with each other. Now, I recently did a video on my Azumarill collection, so I'm not going to go too in-depth with that. I don't think I've shown my Wigglytuff collection, though. So again, I'm going to flick through these as quickly as possible. We start, as always, with TCG. I do have a huge gap in the collection when it comes to Wigglytuff. I definitely need to focus on Wigglytuff a little bit more. I recently got the 151 full art when I went to EmCon, so I'm super happy to have that. Of course, another baby shiny. Continue on. I love this one. I'm not going to go too in depth. I said I wouldn't. Then again, Daichi stickers, and the gaps are for where more Daichi is going in the future. We have some other stickers, a really cool 24 karat gold plating sticker there. Then we have official. I don't have that much for Wigglytuff, and non-official. Azumarill, I'm going to go through as quickly as humanly possible because I recently did a video on my entire Azumarill collection, so I don't want to bore you too much. But if you would like to see my Azumarill stuff in more detail, then please go ahead and check that video out. Of course, I show you my other non-TCG, non-binder items in that video as well. So this is where Azumarill used to be. This is now just the complete Popplio line because I was running out of room. Popplio is my favourite starter. You'd think it would be Scorbunny, seeing as I'm primarily a rabbit collector, but no, it is Popplio. So this is, again, Popplio, Brionne and Primarina. So we start with promos, as always, the most recent, the First Partners promo. Then we move on to non-promos. There's not that many Popplio, Brionne and Primarina cards. Then Daichi. There's not that much merchandise for Popplio, Brionne and Primarina, to be honest, considering that they are starters. Official, again, non-official. That one I'm unsure on. I need to check if that's official or not. Then we move on to Brionne, who has the least amount of TCG out of any in my collection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I do think there's more Popplio, Brionne and Primarina cards coming in Pitch Black. Really exciting, seeing as the last one was Lost Thunder, potentially. So then we move on to, again, Daichi. I've got all of the Brionne Daichi stickers. Then we have official, a lot of newspaper clippings, and unofficial. I don't have a lot for Brionne at all, unfortunately. There isn't a lot out there. On to Primarina and promos. Then regular TCG, and as you can see, I'm missing quite a lot for Primarina, so I definitely need to get on that. In fact, I only have 2 of the regular cards there and 1 promo. So I definitely need to continue buying Primarina. And again, we've got some unofficial stuff there. And plenty of space to grow. So while we're at this point in the video, my question for you is, who is your favourite Pokemon? And who is your favourite Pokemon starter, if they differ? We have 4 more binders to go, and then some extras at the end. So again, I do apologise, I knew this was going to be a long video. But we have my pink binder now. This had Wigglytuff and Sylveon in it, and it's now just entirely dedicated to Sylveon because I was running out of space. So here we are with my Sylveon collection. Again, I don't think I've shown this on the channel yet. These are all promos, and again, I'm flicking through as quickly as I can. I hope you can see the cards. I do have my flash on. I don't know if that's a hindrance or not. And it's a bit late to say this at this point in the video, but I do go from oldest to newest when it comes to TCG. The Unbroken Bonds. The Gardevoir and Sylveon, they are going to kill me and my bank account. So is Evolving Skies. And of course, I do not have the Master Ball for Prismatic yet. I don't have the SIR. That's going to kill me. So then again, same thing. We have a cameo of Sylveon there on a Cassiopeia, and then just the ribbon badges that go with Sylveon. More Daichi. And all these spaces are Sylveon Daichi I've yet to get. Then we have more stickers. I love the door sticker there. Some beautiful Sylveon artworks. Then we have sleeves that feature Sylveon. And unofficial items, mainly IF there. Then we have my beautiful commission. That actually wasn't mine. I didn't actually commission that. But the person who commissioned it never bought it. So I did. I think it's beautiful. And lots of space to grow with Sylveon. I do also have my Jumbo here. I have no idea where to put it. So you've probably been wondering where these are. I am a Pokemon rabbit collector, so this is of course Baneri and Lopunny. I believe I've done dedicated videos for Baneri and Lopunny as well, so again I'll flick through these as quickly as I can. And if you want to see them in more detail, you can go ahead and check out that Baneri and Lopunny video if you would like. Oh, that's fell out. I think that's broken, unfortunately. Oh dear. Here we have Daichi again. Stickers. I do love collecting stickers. I can't help it. More stuff. My beautiful Baneri commission there as well. Then we have the Baneri and Lopunny section before we move on to Lopunny. Some very expensive Lopunny cards as well. Cosmic Eclipse, I'm looking at you. So it's going to take a while to finish Lopunny, I think. And I don't have the Mega Lopunny 128 from Phantasmal Flames yet. So I definitely need to get on that. Again, Daichi, again, stickers. More things. And then we move on to my tiny Mega Lopunny section. I do keep all the Mega Lopunny TCG with the Lopunny TCG, but anything else goes into this little section here. So this is actually my last dedicated binder, dedicated to a Pokemon. And the final binder has everything else in it. So all of my EXs, Vs, VMAXs, that kind of thing. This is Plusle and Minun. And I can't remember if I've done a dedicated Plusle and Minun video. Yeah, I think I have. So again, we'll flick through these as quickly as possible. I am missing a lot of Plusle and Minun, so I definitely need to book my ideas up with that bit. Again, Daichi and spaces for Daichi. Again, stickers, you can definitely see I go for a theme. Then we have Plusle and Minun together before we move on to Minun. But yes, I definitely keep all my binders the same. But as you can see, I'm missing so much Plusle and Minun. I am missing the, is it Paradox Rift? Yeah, the Paradox Rift full arts. I definitely want to get them. But I have sort of hindered myself by doing English master sets only. And that is Plusle and Minun complete. Sort of running out of room with Plusle and Minun. They may end up in a 9 pocket at one point, who knows. My final binder before we move on to the little extras that I have to show you. This is one of my favourites, I have to say. I do love all of my cards though, of course. This is the more special cards, as well as some other Pokemon that I wanted to collect for, but I didn't want to have separate binders for, because I'd end up with about 20 binders, let's be honest. So we have my Milcery and Alchemy collection. This is complete. So I have all the Milcery TCG and all of the Alchemy TCG all in here. Then we move on to my Diancie collection, and all the gaps are Diancie cards I'm missing. Then we move on to the newest collection that I just started, which is Stuffle and Beware. I fell in love with Beware when I was playing Pokemon Sword and Shield. So yes, I have started a Stuffle and Beware section. And again, all the gaps are cards that I'm missing. I love that Beware GX. I've got some Beware Daichi on the way as well. Not quite here by the time I'm recording this video. So then we move on to my full arts, and I absolutely love these. These are full arts that don't obviously fit in any other binder. So we have Miltank, Furret, Rockruff, Flaffy, Lycanroc, Minccino, Yamper and Vanillish there. Hopefully you can see them. Then we have Lilligant, Togekiss, Altaria, Celebi. The Celebi's actually my husband's, but he doesn't really have a space for it, so he's given it to me. And then we have Oshawott and Pikachu. So that's all of my full arts. Then we have full art EXs. So we have Dashbun again. I love this card. Mega Audino and Mousehold. Then all of my EXs. This is one of my favourites. My husband got me this for one of the Valentine's Days, I believe. So Flareon, Gardevoir, Togekiss. And as you can see, this is where a lot of my fairy cards ended up when I decided not to do a fairy binder anymore. Then we have Greedent, Xerneas, Dashbun, Oikoloin, Xerneas again, Hopzation, Cincino, and Mega Clefable EX. Then we move on to GXs. I only have the two, Whimsicott and Alolan Ninetales. Then we have these. So again, Jirachi, Greedent, Indeedee. I do love these. Magearna, Ice Rider, Calyrex. I fell in love with Calyrex in the Sword and Shield DLC as well. So I didn't want to collect Calyrex, but now I kind of do. So I need the Shadow Rider Calyrex as well. Then we have Whimsicott, Hatterene. I don't know if that should be in full arts, but it's a V. Anyway, Alolan Vulpix V, Galarian Rapidash V, Flying Pikachu, Surfing Pikachu, and Umbreon. It's the only Umbreon I've got in my whole collection because, you know, she an expensive girl. And then we have my VMAXs, Chunky Boy, Pikachu for both of my VMAXs, and again, lots of room to grow. That is technically all of my TCG binders, but I do have a couple of extras to show you very, very quickly. So we have the rest of my Daichi in this seal holder. I'll show you the back. I got this one because it has Plusle and Minun on the back. This is technically a folder, and these are just for Daichi that don't have another home. I don't have that many that don't have a home because I am trying to stick to the Pokemon I collect, but you know, things happen. And then I've recently redone these. This is my postcard binder and things that don't fit into a binder, essentially. So I have shown most of these postcards before, so I'm going to be quite quick here. But I'll flick through the postcards in case you were interested. Again, I have shown these quite a lot in other videos. I think this one is beautiful. We have the Yamper there. Oh, I missed a page. There we go. This one I got because it's got Primarina just there. Another beautiful one. Hopefully you can see these. Then we have my little bromide collection. I do have Spinder bromides. They're not in here because they are up on the shelf. But these, of course, as you say, can't fit into a binder. So that's why they're in here. We have some calendar pages. We have my Bonnie sticker. Again, it doesn't fit into the binder. It does have Bunnelby there as well. These are a recent acquisition. Very, very cute. Again, don't fit into a binder. And a Motham sticker. We don't talk about that. There is a story. I'll leave it where it is. And finally, for what you'd call binders, we have my stickers that don't fit into binders. So we have the Diancie there. And again, I'm going to flick through these really quickly. These are all stickers. And again, they're ones that don't fit in the binder. You've got Bunnery there, Score Bunny. I don't know why I got that Nemona, I just quite like it. We have the Poplio stickers and another sticker with Poplio on it. And then all the way at the back, we have this Aurorus. Oh, we made it. So that is all of my Pokemon binders. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for sticking with me. Especially, I know some of you are only interested in video games and not Pokemon. So thank you for your continued support as well. I'm assuming they're not watching this video though. And until next time, bye EMbers.